Some men are attractive the moment they enter a room. Not because they speak louder. Not because they try harder. And not because they follow rules or techniques. Their presence simply lands. People feel it before they understand it. And here's the uncomfortable truth. That kind of attraction cannot be faked. It is not built through charm, lines, or confidence hacks. It is built through inner discipline. Through calm when others panic. Through restraint when others chase. Through purpose when others drift. This video is not about how to impress. It is about how to become. Because the men who are hardest to forget are never trying to be seen. They are too busy becoming grounded, self-respecting, and dangerous in their quiet strength. If you want attention, this video is not for you. If you want presence, stay. Welcome to the Stoic Love Wisdom channel. This is where we share lessons about love, real-life experiences and tips for building strong relationships. In today's video, I will share with you 7 hidden secrets that make men irresistibly attractive. These may be things you have never thought of. If you are looking for a deeper understanding of love and how to develop relationships, don't miss this video. Before watching the video, find a quiet space and put on your headphones to feel every word I am about to share. Relax and enjoy this journey with me. Are you ready to start this journey? Let's begin. Secret number 1, unshakable calm. Why emotional stillness is the core of male attraction. There is a kind of attraction that cannot be taught through techniques, lines, or appearances. It is not loud. It does not seek attention. And it does not need validation. It is calm. Not the passive calm of indifference. But the grounded calm of a man who has faced pressure, and did not break. Most men misunderstand attraction because they believe it comes from doing more. Talking more. Explaining more. Reacting faster. Proving themselves harder. In reality, attraction often emerges when a man does less, but stands firmer. Calm is emotional leadership. When tension enters a room, people instinctively look for the emotional leader. Not the loudest person. Not the most expressive. But the one who remains centered. A woman feels attraction not because a man controls the situation, but because he controls himself. When she is emotional, overwhelmed, uncertain, or testing boundaries, she is unconsciously asking, will this man become reactive, or remain steady? A man who stays calm in those moments sends a powerful signal. I am not ruled by emotion. I can hold space without losing myself. That signal creates safety. And safety is the foundation of attraction. Why most men lose here? Emotional pressure exposes insecurity. When faced with silence, conflict, distance, uncertainty, most men rush to relieve their discomfort. They talk to calm themselves, not to lead the moment. They mistake emotional release for honesty. But uncontrolled expression is not authenticity. It is instability. And instability repels. A Stoic man understands that emotion is information. Not an order that must be obeyed immediately. Calm does not mean cold. This is where Stoicism is often misunderstood. Calm is not emotional suppression. It is emotional regulation. A calm man still feels deeply. He simply refuses to let emotion dictate his actions. He listens before reacting. He breathes before speaking. He chooses response over impulse. This creates a quiet authority that cannot be faked. Because calm under pressure is earned. Women feel calm before they understand it. Attraction is not logical. A woman may not consciously think. He is calm, therefore he is attractive. She feels something subtler. His presence slows her down. His reactions do not escalate tension. His energy feels grounded. This is nervous system level attraction. Her body relaxes around him. And when a woman feels safe enough to relax, curiosity replaces control. Calm is rare, that's why it works. Most men are reactive. They mirror emotion instead of anchoring it. Anger meets anger. Anxiety meets reassurance seeking. Silence meets panic. A stoic man breaks the pattern. He becomes the still point. And stillness stands out in a world addicted to noise. How calm reverses power without force. Power in relationships is not dominance. It is emotional independence. The man who needs reassurance loses leverage. The man who stays composed retains it. Not through manipulation. Through self-mastery. Calm communicates. I am not afraid of losing you. I trust myself more than outcomes. I will not abandon my center for approval. This is deeply attractive because it is rare and real. The hard truth. You cannot pretend to be calm. People feel the difference between rehearsed indifference and genuine inner stillness. Real calm is built through discomfort, discipline, facing uncertainty without collapsing. It is forged, not learned. Why this is the first secret. Without emotional calm, confidence becomes arrogance. Silence becomes avoidance. Strength becomes control. Calm is the foundation everything else rests on. A man who masters this secret does not chase attraction. Attraction moves toward him. Quietly. Naturally. Inevitably. Love, like a mirror that reflects ourselves. When you learn to love, you are also learning to look back at yourself. What are your strengths? What are the wounds that need to be healed? And understanding yourself will help you understand the other person more deeply. That is also the reason I share on this channel, to help you see love as a journey to nurture your soul. If you find these things meaningful, click like to spread that value. And if this is your first time coming to the channel, don't forget to click subscribe with the notification bell, so we can always accompany each other in the next lessons. Leave a comment below, share your true feelings after listening to this part. Who knows, your little story may touch the heart of someone in need. Now, let's continue on the next part of this journey. Secret number 2, the power of not needing to be liked, why respect always comes first. One of the most liberating moments in a man's life is the day he realizes this truth. Being liked is cheap. Being respected is rare. Most men grow up chasing approval. They soften their opinions. They avoid conflict. They say yes when they mean no. They shape themselves into something easier to accept. And slowly, without noticing, they lose the very edge that once made them interesting. A stoic man walks a different path. The approval trap. The need to be liked is not kindness. It is fear disguised as politeness. Fear of rejection. Fear of conflict. Fear of standing alone. When a man needs approval, his behavior changes. He explains himself too much. He apologizes unnecessarily. He tolerates disrespect to keep peace. And people feel it. Not consciously, instinctively. Because neediness always leaks through behavior. Respect is born from self-alignment. Respect does not come from pleasing others. It comes from consistency between values and actions. A man who knows who he is does not argue to be understood. Does not perform to be accepted. Does not bend under social pressure. He speaks clearly. Acts deliberately. And accepts disagreement without anxiety. This calm firmness is deeply attractive. Because it signals inner solidity. Why women respond to this instinctively. A woman may not agree with everything a man says, but she watches how he holds his ground. Does he collapse when challenged? Does he retreat to keep harmony? Does he change himself to avoid discomfort? Or does he remain composed, respectful, and unmoved? A man who does not seek to be liked creates emotional polarity. He is not trying to win her. He is inviting her into his frame. And that shift changes everything. Not needing approval is not arrogance. There is a fine line between confidence and arrogance. Arrogance demands recognition. Confidence does not require it. A Stoic man does not announce his value. He simply lives in alignment with it. He listens. He considers other perspectives. But he does not betray himself to be accepted. This balance is rare. And rarity creates attraction. The hidden strength of disagreement. Many men fear disagreement in relationships. They believe harmony equals safety. But forced harmony breeds resentment. A wise man allows disagreement to exist. He understands. If someone cannot respect my disagreement, they do not truly respect me. This mindset filters relationships naturally. The right people lean in. The wrong ones fall away. And both outcomes are wins. How this reclaims masculine presence. When you no longer need to be liked. Your voice slows down. Your words carry weight. Your silence becomes meaningful. You stop oversharing. You stop over-explaining. You stop chasing validation. And people begin to listen more closely. Because you are no longer speaking to be accepted. You are speaking because you have something worth saying. The Stoic trade-off. Here is the trade most men are afraid to make. You may be liked by fewer people. But you will be respected by the right ones. And respect is what creates long-term attraction, emotional safety, deep connection. Being liked feels good in the moment. Being respected changes your life. Why this secret changes everything. A man who does not need approval cannot be controlled by it. He cannot be manipulated by silence. He cannot be shaken by criticism. He cannot be owned by fear of loss. This is why he becomes unforgettable. Not because he tries to be, but because he stands firmly in who he is. Secret number 3, the strategic use of silence. Why saying less makes a man magnetic. Most men believe attraction is created by saying the right things. The right words. The right explanations. The right emotional responses. They talk to fill space. They talk to avoid tension. They talk to feel in control. And in doing so, they talk themselves out of respect. A Stoic man understands something deeper. Silence, when chosen consciously, speaks louder than words ever could. Silence is not absence, it is presence under control. There are two kinds of silence. One is passive, born from fear, avoidance, or insecurity. The other is deliberate, born from clarity and self-mastery. A Stoic man practices the second. He does not rush to respond. He does not fill every pause. He does not compete for attention with noise. His silence is not emptiness. It is contained energy. And contained energy creates tension. Why most men fear silence. Silence exposes inner instability. When there are no words to hide behind, a man must sit with himself. This is why many men over-explain, overshare, text too much, react too fast. They confuse expression with connection. But uncontrolled expression weakens presence. A man who cannot tolerate silence will never be perceived as grounded. Silence forces others to lean in. Here is the psychological shift most men never notice. When you stop filling space, others begin to feel it. They wonder. What is he thinking? Why is he not reacting? Why does his energy feel steady? Silence creates curiosity. Curiosity creates attraction. Not because you are withholding, but because you are not chasing attention. Silence is a filter. A Stoic man does not speak to be liked. He speaks when his words have weight. This automatically filters people. Those who need constant reassurance feel uncomfortable. Those who thrive on drama grow impatient. But those who value depth, they lean closer. Silence reveals who is aligned with you, and who is not. And that saves time, energy, and emotional confusion. Why women feel drawn to this? At a primal level, silence signals confidence. A man who speaks less does not need to impress, does not fear misunderstanding, does not beg to be chosen. His calm pauses feel intentional. A woman may not consciously analyze this, but her nervous system recognizes it. Silence slows the interaction. And when things slow down, emotion deepens. Silence during conflict is power. This is where silence becomes dangerous, in the best way. When emotions rise, most men react. They defend. They argue. They explain. A Stoic man pauses. He listens fully. He absorbs emotion without reflecting it. He responds only when clarity returns. This does not escalate conflict. It ends it. Because calm silence disarms emotional chaos. Silence after intimacy builds depth. After closeness, emotional or physical, many men rush to secure certainty. They ask, "Are we okay? What does this mean?" A Stoic man allows space. He understands that meaning emerges naturally, when not forced. His silence after intimacy is not withdrawal. It is trust. And trust deepens attraction more than reassurance ever could. The line between silence and distance. Silence must never be used as punishment. That is manipulation. Stoic silence is not about control. It is about self-regulation. You are not ignoring. You are not withholding affection. You are simply choosing not to speak from emotion. There is a difference. And people feel it. Why this makes a man unforgettable? In a world where everyone is talking, the man who speaks with restraint stands out immediately. His words land heavier. His presence feels stronger. His absence is noticed. Not because he demands attention, but because he does not need it. The final truth about silence. Silence is not something you use. It is something you earn. It comes from inner stability, emotional discipline, comfort with uncertainty. A man who masters silence never fears being misunderstood, because he trusts that what belongs to him will move closer, not away. In the quiet. Secret number 4. Inner depth without performance. Why mystery always outshines oversharing. There is a quiet mistake many men make when they begin to work on themselves. They turn growth into a performance. They talk about what they read. They explain their mindset. They narrate their healing. They describe their depth. And without realizing it, they drain the mystery that once made them compelling. A Stoic man never advertises his inner world. He lets it be discovered. Depth is not meant to be displayed. True depth does not announce itself. It shows up in how a man listens, how he responds under pressure, How he moves through uncertainty. A man with depth does not need to convince others he is thoughtful. His presence already does that work. Oversharing, on the other hand, often comes from the need to be seen as meaningful. And need weakens attraction. Why oversharing breaks the spell? When a man explains everything, his fears, his philosophies, his emotional process, there is no space left for curiosity. Mystery disappears. A woman does not need full access to your inner world immediately. She needs contrast. She needs to sense that there is more. Not be handed everything at once. Attraction thrives in discovery, not disclosure. Mystery is not secrecy. This is an important distinction. Mystery is not hiding. It is revealing slowly. A Stoic man is honest. But he is selective. He shares when there is trust, not when there is anxiety. He understands. Access to my inner world is earned, not demanded. This is not manipulation. It is self-respect. Why women feel pulled toward mystery. At a deep level, mystery signals confidence. A man who does not rush to explain himself. Trusts his value. Trusts time. Trusts the connection to unfold naturally. This creates emotional tension, in the best way. She wonders. She leans in. She pays attention. Because what is not immediately available is often valued more. Depth shows in behavior, not words. A man with depth does not react impulsively, does not seek constant validation, does not perform emotional intelligence. He lives it. He chooses his words carefully. He allows silence. He lets others reveal themselves first. This quiet restraint makes his presence memorable. The masculine balance. Many men swing between two extremes. Emotional shutdown. Emotional overexposure. Stoic depth lives in the middle. Open, but grounded. Present, but not porous. Engaged, but not consuming. This balance is rare. And rarity creates attraction. Why mystery creates long-term pull. Short-term attraction can be created through intensity. Long-term attraction requires intrigue. Mystery keeps the connection alive. Without exhausting it. It allows desire to mature instead of burn out. A man who understands this never rushes intimacy. He lets it grow. The inner rule. Here is a simple Stoic rule. Do not explain yourself to those who have not earned the context. This rule alone will protect your energy, your dignity, and your magnetism. Why this secret changes how you are perceived. When you stop performing depth, people project depth onto you. Conversations feel richer. Your presence feels heavier. Because silence plus restraint creates space for meaning. And meaning is what people remember. Secret number 5, presence without attachment, why non-neediness is irresistible. There is a subtle difference between being present and being attached. Most men don't see it. But women feel it immediately. Presence feels warm, grounded, and safe. Attachment feels heavy, urgent, and demanding. A Stoic man knows how to offer the first without falling into the second. And that is where his power lies. Attachment is the hidden attraction killer. Attachment does not look like weakness at first. It looks like constant availability, quick replies, emotional openness, desire to stay close. But beneath it is fear. Fear of losing. Fear of being replaced. Fear of not being enough. And fear leaks. It shows up in tone, in timing, In energy. A woman may not name it. But she feels the pressure. And pressure suffocates attraction. Presence comes from wholeness. A man who is truly present is not trying to secure anything. He is there because he chooses to be. Not because he needs to be. This changes everything. His attention feels intentional, not desperate. His care feels generous, not transactional. His closeness feels safe, not consuming. Presence without attachment comes from a full life. A man who has direction, discipline, and purpose does not cling to connection. He contributes to it. Why women respond so strongly to this? At a nervous system level. Non-neediness signals strength. It says, I enjoy you, but I am not incomplete without you. I choose connection, not dependence. I can stand alone. This creates emotional polarity. She feels free. Not responsible for your happiness. And freedom fuels desire. The difference in behavior is subtle, but powerful. An attached man checks for responses. Looks for reassurance. Seeks emotional confirmation. A present man engages fully when together. Releases control when apart. Does not track emotional scores. He trusts the flow. And trust relaxes the dynamic. Non-neediness is not detachment. This is where many men go wrong. They confuse non-neediness with coldness. They withdraw. They act distant. They suppress emotion. That is not stoicism. That is avoidance. A stoic man feels deeply. He simply does not cling. He can love, and let go. That balance is rare. Why this makes a man feel safe to love? A woman opens most deeply when she does not feel trapped by someone else's needs. When she senses, I am wanted, not required. I am valued, not used to fill a void. Her guard lowers. Because love without pressure feels expansive, not limiting. How this reverses the usual power dynamic. Neediness gives power away. Non-attachment reclaims it, quietly. The man who can walk away emotionally without resentment is the man who cannot be controlled by fear. And paradoxically, this is often the man people don't want to lose. The Stoic core of this secret. Here is the principle. Attach to your values, not to outcomes. When you anchor yourself to who you are becoming, relationships enhance your life. They do not define it. And that is when attraction becomes effortless. Why this is unforgettable. Most men love with urgency. A Stoic man loves with stability. He does not grasp. He does not cling. He does not disappear. He remains. And remaining whole in the presence of desire is one of the most magnetic qualities a man can possess. There are things in love, only when we take a step back, sit down quietly, can we truly understand. I share these stories not to teach you how to love, but so that you can find the answers for yourself. If what you just heard touches your heart, please click like as a way to spread this positive energy to more people. And remember to click subscribe, because there are many profound perspectives on love waiting for you in the next videos. Now, let's continue the remaining journey together, because the most precious things are sometimes at the end. Secret number 6, the strength of letting go without bitterness, why men who can walk away are never forgotten. There is nothing more revealing about a man than how he leaves. Not how he enters a relationship. Not how charming he is when things are easy. But how he walks away when staying would cost him his self-respect. Most men do not know how to let go. They either cling or they burn bridges. A Stoic man does neither. Why letting go is so difficult for most men? Letting go feels like failure. It feels like loss. Like rejection. Like admitting you were not enough. So men fight reality. They argue with behavior. They negotiate with disrespect. They stay longer than they should, hoping effort will be rewarded. But effort cannot fix misalignment. And staying where you are not valued slowly erodes your identity. Bitterness is attachment in disguise. When a man leaves with anger, sarcasm, or resentment, he believes he is reclaiming power. He is not. He is revealing attachment. Bitterness says, "You still control my emotions. You still matter more than my peace." A Stoic man refuses to give that power away. He understands. If I must poison myself emotionally to prove I was wronged, I am still not free. What strength looks like in practice? Strength is quiet. A Stoic man states his boundary once, observes behavior, acts accordingly. No speeches. No ultimatums. No dramatic exits. He does not threaten to leave. He simply leaves. Cleanly. Calmly. Completely. And that composure is unforgettable. Why this leaves a lasting impression? Most people expect reaction. They expect anger. They expect guilt. They expect emotional chaos. When none arrives, it creates cognitive dissonance. She remembers his calm, his restraint, his dignity, not because he tried to be remembered, but because strength without resentment lingers. Letting go is an act of self-loyalty. A Stoic man does not leave to punish. He leaves to protect alignment. He asks himself, is this connection honoring my values? Am I becoming smaller here? Am I staying out of fear? If the answer is yes, he chooses himself, without hatred. This is not ego. This is integrity. Why walking away raises a man's value? Value is not negotiated. It is demonstrated. A man who tolerates disrespect teaches others how to treat him. A man who walks away from it teaches others who he is. And even if she never returns, he does not regret the decision. Because peace compounds. The Stoic paradox. Here is the paradox most men never experience. The moment you are truly willing to lose someone, without bitterness, is the moment you stop losing yourself. Sometimes, that strength invites respect back. Sometimes, it ends the story. Either way, you win. The emotional aftermath. A Stoic man does not suppress grief. He feels it, privately. He processes pain through discipline, reflection, growth. Not through revenge or validation seeking. Because healing does not need an audience. Why this is rare and powerful. Anyone can walk away angrily. Very few can walk away whole. That difference defines masculine maturity. And maturity is magnetic. Secret number 7, living for something greater than love. Why purpose makes a man irresistible by default. At some point in a man's life, he realizes a painful truth. When love becomes the center of his world, it begins to collapse under its own weight. Not because love is weak, but because it was never meant to carry the entire meaning of a man's life. A Stoic man understands this early, or learns it the hard way. Purpose is the anchor that prevents collapse. When a man has no deeper purpose, he places emotional weight on relationships they cannot sustain. He looks to love for identity, direction, validation. meaning. And unconsciously, he demands more than any partner can give. Purpose removes this burden. A man who lives for something greater than love does not use relationships to escape emptiness. He invites others into a life that is already moving forward. Why purpose is instinctively attractive. Purpose creates direction. Direction creates momentum. And momentum is deeply masculine. A woman may not fully understand what a man's purpose is. But she feels it. She senses. He is going somewhere. He is building something. He is becoming someone. This creates trust. Because a man with direction does not drift emotionally. Purpose eliminates neediness without effort. When a man is anchored in purpose, he does not cling. He does not chase. He does not fear loss. Not because he is detached, but because his identity is not at stake. Love becomes a complement, not a lifeline. And that makes his presence lighter, freer, and more attractive. Purpose sharpens masculine boundaries. A man with purpose cannot afford chaos. He values clarity over drama, alignment over intensity, consistency over highs and lows. This naturally raises his standards. He chooses partners who support growth, not those who disrupt it. And he does so without judgment or anger. Purpose simplifies decisions. Why love deepens instead of consumes. When purpose leads and love follows, attraction stabilizes. Intimacy matures. Respect deepens. There is no rush to secure the relationship. There is no fear of abandonment. Because the man is not trying to be completed. He is already whole. The Stoic view of love. Stoicism does not reject love. It refuses to worship it. A Stoic man loves deeply. But he does not kneel before love. He knows. Anything you place above your character will eventually control you. Purpose protects character. What this looks like in daily life. A man with purpose keeps his routines, honors his discipline, protects his time. Even in love, he does not abandon his mission to maintain harmony. And paradoxically, this consistency creates safety. Because reliability is more attractive than availability. Why this is the final secret. Without purpose, calm becomes apathy. Boundaries become control. Silence becomes avoidance. Purpose gives structure to every other secret. It is the spine. A man without purpose may be charming. A man with purpose is anchoring. The quiet truth. Attraction fades when a man revolves around love. It deepens when love revolves around a man's life. Not because he demands it, but because he has built something worth standing beside. The closing realization. A Stoic man does not ask, "How do I become irresistible?" He asks, "Who must I become, regardless of who stays or leaves?" And in answering that question honestly, he becomes a man that few can ignore, and none can replace. Conclusion. True attraction is never loud. It does not announce itself. It does not beg to be seen. And it does not rely on performance. It grows out of inner alignment. The 7 secrets you've just explored are not tactics. They are consequences. Consequences of emotional discipline. Of self-respect. Of living with purpose instead of fear. A Stoic man does not chase attraction. He becomes the kind of man attraction naturally moves toward. He remains calm when others react. He values respect over approval. He speaks with restraint and listens with depth. He is present without attachment. He can walk away without bitterness. And above all, he lives for something greater than love itself. This is why his presence feels different. Not intense, but grounding. Not dramatic, but memorable. Not consuming, but stabilizing. Because real masculine attraction is not about being needed. It is about being trusted. Trusted to lead emotionally. Trusted to remain steady under pressure. Trusted to love without losing himself. In a world addicted to noise, validation, and instant connection. The man who is centered, disciplined, and self-directed stands out effortlessly. Not because he demands attention, but because he does not need it. And that is the final truth. The most attractive men are not trying to be chosen. They are building a life so aligned with their values that the right people recognize it and choose to stay. Quietly. Freely. Without force. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. I hope you have found useful lessons about love and relationships. If you find this video useful, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. I really appreciate your support and will continue to bring valuable content in the next videos. Please continue to accompany me on my journey to learn about love and relationships. See you again and wish you happiness.